Well, we had a nice rain last night. It's absolutely gross. I don't know if you can see these things hanging from the trees. They're all over the place. This brown color on the ground, that's all oak pollen. Yeah, anywho's, everything, even the clothesline's got water on it. The doors seem beautiful. Of course, starboard is very resilient to water, as is cement board. Although one of these days I'm going to put some paint on that. So let's open up and see what kind of leaks I have inside. Oopsie. Seems a little stiff. Yeah. The wood has swollen a little bit, it seems. It's okay. This piece can be ground down. It seems dry except for the corners. That's pretty nice. As you can see, I'm starting to accumulate more and more stuff the longer I have this trailer. But there's no rhyme or reason for it in here. It's just a place to put stuff until the doors are secure, and then I can work on the inside. I don't see any moisture in here, nothing. I expected to see a puddle on the ground somewhere. I don't see anything resembling a leak in here. That is pretty amazing. Put my Thermacell on because I'm going to be doing some work in here today. I don't want mosquitoes all up in my business. Yeah, right here in the corner, there's a little bit of water coming down. Yep. That's because there's a hole in the roof up there. I can patch that later. I think the doors, they did wonderful. I won't know until I have a real driving rain and I'm in here. But I think the weather stripping did pretty well. Next, I'm going to clear some of this debris, maybe cut up the old doors, and then I'll work on finishing these doors here first by adding a shelf above them. You'll see what I mean. Stay tuned. I'm not sure what I could ever use these door hinges for, but I certainly felt like they were worth keeping, unlike the door panels themselves, which were very rotten. I felt this little placard here was worth keeping, and I decided to reapply it to the new doors as a sentimental reminder of what the old doors used to be. And you can see here, I've got a little bungee that holds the doors open. That's been working out quite nice. I got a little place here where I can keep it. And when the doors are shut, the weather stripping is holding up nicely. And inside here, I've got a nut and bolt and a hole. The hole is going to go through the body of the truck. This is going to hold the bottom of the door nice and secure. Eventually I want to weld the nut to the body of the truck so I don't have to reach under there every single time. That would be nice. I got it in there kind of loose for now. If I wanted to, I could snug it up and it'll really make the door very rigid. And I like that because it is a mobile shop. When I climb inside, I can feel the whole thing bounce a little bit. If I was going down the road, it would definitely bounce. So instead of just a little cane bolt that you kind of loosen and stick in a hole, those are convenient because they're always right there. They're easy to deploy, but they usually have a little slop to them. I've done it before on shops with similar doors that I built in a situation where it's not mobile and things aren't going to bounce around as much, and they work just fine. In this case, I happen to have the bolts. I don't have cane bolts, so it's right up my alley. It works better. It's a little bit more to actually put in place until I weld those nuts in there, and it'll be easier. I like that it's an example of me using the materials that I have on hand. Speaking of which, I want another bolt up top that holds this to the top of the truck somehow. Since this is the stationary door, the other door will close on it. So I want this real secure, so the other door has something solid to attach to. So I gotta look for hardware that I have that I can use. This bolt is identical to the one that is already on the bottom, so I kind of like that for the symmetry of it all. And it has a nut. I think the length is good. As is usually the case, I build stuff with what I have at hand. When people have asked me in the past, what should I build my whatever out of? My answer is usually, I don't know. I'm gonna go to your shop and see what kind of materials you got, and then I'll tell you what materials you should use. Because going out and buying stuff works, but you gotta drive to the store and then you gotta spend money and blah, blah, blah. So, all right, this bolt here, if I were to place it there, the threads stop short of this. If I were to weld a nut to the truck, even if I welded it to the outside of this, then the bolt's in the right position this way, but the threads aren't. I could cut new threads into this, but quite the conundrum about where to place the cane bolt on the top of this door. One idea I had was to put a piece of wood up here that kind of stuck out. Initially it was going to be a stop for this door, which I don't think I need, especially if this is bolted in place most of the time. Then this door is not going to swing in accidentally. Nor does it seem like it wants to do that ever since I put the sweep on the bottom and the weather stripping on the side. It kind of closes and it goes like a car door almost, so that's nice. So I don't need a stop. However, it would be nice to have a place to put that bolt. So if a piece of wood stuck out, that would be good for that. And it would make a little shelf up here for knickknacks and whatnot. Obviously I'd have to put a barrier on it so that things don't roll off while I'm driving, but I don't plan on driving this thing around constantly. It's gonna stay pretty much for long periods of time. If I was gonna drive, I could take stuff off the shelf, so yeah. So I'm gonna use this piece of wood. This is the one that I ripped down for the inside of the door that moves. Yeah, and that worked out really, really nicely. It cleaned up the inside of the door. It made it so that it closed tighter. It gave me something to nail the trim to. Yeah, but I only needed part of a 2x4 for that, and that's what's left over. And it's got a little rake to it, which would be perfect for the shelf. And it's a decent enough length. So I think I'm going to fasten that 2x4 up there, and then I'll drill a hole through it, and I'll have a place for the cane bolt, and I'll have a shelf, and life will be good. First things first, tape measure. Let's see, in between there and there. It's a bitch getting old, isn't it?
I'm gonna call it 73 3/4.
Okay, 73, like the year I was born, and 3/4. All right, let's grab a pencil and go outside and measure this thing up. We'll take a square with us and our piece of wood. Oh, God. And the camera. Hey. Good. Let's see what we got here. Well, this is bigger than 73 3/4. I think I can make it work. Without cutting it completely down, this will have a slightly bigger shelf. Yes. 5/8 long.
This is where it falls. Yeah, right.
All that does is prevent this from coming that way. Now I can put a screw in this way. Yeah, let's do that. Now, I'm gonna pull this door in a little tighter, like that. That's real rough. We'll clean that up a little bit, put a washer on it. Let's see if that bolt works. Yep, I gotta pull the door back to make it go in. Oh yeah. Oh no. Well, the bolt is not long enough. It's not long enough. No, it's not.
No, it's not. Isn't that nice? Yep.
Missed twice, cut once, beep beep, burp, boop, boop, boop. Alright. There's a solution for this without buying a new bolt. Maybe I countersink a hole. It's right there. It's right there. It's flush. It would only have to go down this much, which is like half the thickness of the board. Yes, which means I gotta take the board off in order to countersink that. Aren't you lucky that you get to just see it happen like this? Mm-hmm. Instead of having to do it in real time like me. Now I have two places I can secure the stationary door. There you go. Very secure. Now, one thing I want to do today is make nailers for these. So let's get that done. What I'm trying to do is use the pieces that I have left over so that they'll function as nailers and shelves. And also I notice when I'm getting in and out of the truck, I hold on to this a lot and I use it as a handle as I step down. And I wouldn't want to ruin that by making this twice as thick. It's a little, I mean, I can still hold on to it. But yeah, this is all the things that are going through my brain, and I came up with a plan, and it's going to involve putting a board like this, and that means that this is in the way, and then I'm going to have a board going across here, so then that has to move too. It's always been the way of me setting up a shop, is just oftentimes sitting and staring and thinking and trying and, you know, taking one step forward, 2 steps back, and then 3 steps forward. And after a while, I have things that are in place as I need them, and they're ergonomic, but it's an evolution. Not all ideas work. Sometimes you got to take something and move backwards. So I'm taking those off, and I'll take this eye bolt out. As a matter of fact, I use this eye bolt. Well, in the past, I've used it for my hammock, so that's, I think, a better purpose for that big stainless steel industrial eye bolt than for just keeping the door open. As a matter of fact, the way that I'm keeping the side door open here and the other side, the bungee is kind of like squishing this here, and it's a little bit awkward to put it on. And I notice when it's on the side of the truck, there are these little D-rings, and it just fits on there so nice. These are remnants from when they put canvas on the side. So I believe I'm gonna come over here and drill out one of those rivets, steal this D-ring, and I'll put them on the bottom of the door in such a place, maybe on the outside here, so that it'll be easier to attach the bungee like that. And then I get my big stainless steel rings back for my hammock. Sound like a plan? All right, let's do it. My huckleberry right there. Come with me. Come on. Yes. instead of that, we've got that. Pretty simple. Getting to watch these ideas manifest themselves kind of out of the ether is very satisfying. Kind of like the handle here that I scavenged from the old door. It was nice to see it find a home again. Well, now I've got most of the braces in. The door's closed real nice. There's 2 more braces to put in up top, and that'll help make it so that the last of the trim, you can see it's bowing out a little bit up there. Yeah, so I would love to get that squared away, but it's starting to get late, and quite frankly, I'm pretty tired. I thought about focusing my attention on a drip edge up there, but honestly, when the doors close, I think a drip edge really is not going to deflect too much water, because you only have this much above the door, and whatever rain hits that, you know, I think is going to be minimal. I need to stay in here during a downpour. We had a little rain the other night, but it was in the middle of the night, so I didn't get to see it. So I think I'm going to take a break from worrying about the doors, and I'm going to set up a little place to sit here. Yes. That's delightful too. When you run out of things to do at the end of the day and when you're too tired, drawing plans is always a good thing that you can busy your time with. You see the plans there. Those are the different types of doors that I had contemplated. Quickly I came to settle on the design I have out there, mainly because I couldn't get lumber to do the other one anyways. Now I'm going to try to design some steps, because I could picture hanging out in the shop, just hanging out, looking for inspiration, relaxing, chilling at the end of the day before I want to go inside to the other trailer where I live, as opposed to the trailer where I work. And as always, the dogs are probably going to want to be with me, and if I have a thermocell going in here, there'll be no mosquitoes, which is better for the pups, especially the black lab, because the mosquitoes seem to love him. There'll be 20 mosquitoes around him, so they're inside the other trailer in my bed doing God knows what right now, but usually I like to have them with me, and if they see me up here, they're going to want to try to get up here, or they're going to whine. So having stairs is going to enable them to get up here with me when I'm just chilling out. So I've already measured the height of the stairs, and I want to make something kind of crude out of some lumber that I acquired. I've got old pallets, I have some crappy plywood, and I do have some carpet that I can put on top to keep the puppy's feet kind of nice and safe. But first thing is, again, planning is a good idea, and I thought about going to Home Depot and buying stringers. They make life pretty easy because it's already set to a certain tread and height. 7-11 is the standard. 7 is the maximum height, 11 is the minimum for the tread. And if every step is even, it makes it so that you don't stumble when you're going up and down. It's difficult here because the height of the truck varies depending on the ground and yada yada yada. So I'm just going to make something crude, simple, so that over the next couple of days, as I'm contemplating whether or not I need a drip edge or how I'm going to design a workbench in here, I'll be able to have the dogs by my side. Whew, a lot of hot air in here. It's not just coming from the roof and the walls either, it's coming from my mouth. So let's get to designing.
25 inches tall. There's the truck. Yep. There's the truck there. We got 7 inches down. there. 35 minus 7, 28. So we're going to 28. We'll come down to 21. 21 inches. We'll come down again to 14. Right? And then down to 7.
Okay. There you go. That's the steps. Bing, bang, boom. I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 steps. That'll bring me up to 7, 14, 21, 28 inches. And then the last step will be into the truck, another 7 inches. Now how do I build it with scrap? Tell how motivated I am. Nice thing is, I'm building crude steps. You know, if my joints are kind of ugly, it doesn't matter because it's not going to last. Like the doors on this, I want to last a long time. The steps, they're temporary while it's parked here until maybe someday I save up a few bucks and I build a deck off of this in a more permanent location. That would be pretty cool. Until then, just something temporary. Something that lasts a year or so.
Or less. God willing.
Enough hanging out with my fans. Time to get something done. While I made these stairs, I set the camera up, which I guess is no surprise there, right? But this time I set it to time lapse because the idea was that I was going to capture the construction of these stairs from beginning to end in one continuous shot. Check it out. My beer didn't even get cold on that one. Now I can truly relax, knowing that my best friends can come up here and enjoy this with me. Hey, what do you think of those steps, huh? You're looking at squirrels, I know. How about you, old lady? What are you, 13 and a half now? My goodness. Thank you. You are a good girl. Anything for the puppers. Stay tuned, there'll be more hijinks coming from my shop with me and my dogs. Maybe we'll get to building the rest of this thing out one of these days. Till then, catch you later. Bye. You're a good boy. Yes, you are. Yes, you are.